What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Of course, welcome if you're new. And we're gonna jump right into this set because y'all finna see. So I'm gonna start off by showing y'all what I'm using. I'm gonna be using these picture frame nail charms that I got off of Temu, and then these Beatles deck of cards that I got from Target that I fucking can I say that on here? I'm not gonna edit that out. But these cards I fell in love with. They did have other themed ones, like they had these Beatles ones and they had some Harry Potter ones and a few other ones, but these stuck out to me the most because one, I freaking love the Beatles, and two, it just seemed to have like more nicer colors in my opinion. So here I am going in with a bunch of different gels. I wanted to stick to the colors that were in the deck, and there were a few colors in the deck that I didn't have, so I ended up just making them myself. But let me talk to y'all about this design. When I first bought those picture frame charms, I had the idea to use dollar bills, and I had this like vintagey gold dollar bill antique looking idea. But after placing those picture frames onto the dollar bills, I realized there wasn't enough options for me to even use the picture frames. And then also I didn't realize how big a lot of the images on the dollar bills were. So none of them just like fit perfectly in the center of those picture frames. So I had to scratch that entire idea. And I bought those charms like mad long ago. So I was just sitting with these charms with no dollar bills, no ideas, no nothing, until I went to Target and came across these playing cards. So what did we learn from this? That Target solves your problems. Anyway, getting back into the design, I went ahead and did a peel-off base using UNT, and I'll link that in the description box below. I adhered my tips on with base gel from Ruby Nail Products, and the first thing I wanted to do was use the box. I loved this design on the back. I love the symmetry of it because I'm all about symmetry, so I went ahead and cut that part out. Okay, so I high-key underestimated this design and the materials of it. I had to use this little tool that I got off of, I think Shein or Temu or Amazon. I don't know, I'll put it up here on the screen somewhere. But I like it because it helps me bend my charm so that it can fit the nail or lay on the nail a little better because it takes that C-curve shape. And at first I went in with some nail glue and it didn't stick to the nail like at all. So I ended up using my Makartt rhinestone glue and it worked perfectly. Also, I didn't show on camera, I did top coat that little piece because I didn't want any of that ink to bleed when it was time to encapsulate. Alright y'all, so going in with my favorite clear from Young Nails, my pink Dappen dish from Ruby Nail Products, and also my monomer from Young Nails. I went ahead and started capping my nails because I am going to go in with an ombre, and I like to cap before just ombreing right into gel because I feel like acrylic ombre is best into acrylic, and I've mentioned this in my previous video. Some people just go ahead and ombre their nude right into their gels, and I think that's fine, it's cool, but acrylic just ombres best into its own self. So I do like to put a layer of clear prior to going in with my nude to ombre. This V-Beauty Pure Classic Nude is my go-to nude, okay? If you don't have a go-to nude and you want one, get this one. It's my favorite nude. It has like no crazy pink undertones or coral undertones. It's just like the perfect neutral nude, in my opinion. But anyway, my dad had it mad cold in the basement, y'all. Like, I was chasing this acrylic everywhere. This acrylic's mission was to embarrass me during this recording, this day. So I had to just deal with it. But I'm not gonna lie, like I like working with wetter beads because for me, it gives me a little bit more control over the situation. I know that doesn't make sense, but probably only because I have to focus more and I have to really take my time and make sure I'm not dragging my beads down too much. I have to pat them more because they're more wet and they're not going to dry as fast. They're not going to set as fast on the nail. So yeah, I guess it kind of makes me a better acrylic applicator. What? I know y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all get it. Okay guys, getting into the thumb, of course I had to use the Beatles, and it fit perfectly on the thumb. I do wish I cut out like a little bit of that red line at the top, but the reason why I left it is because I didn't think that I even cut the right size out, so I was like, well, I'll just file the red part off because it's probably going to be too wide anyway. Well, I was wrong. It didn't look crazy in the end, but it did bother me, so there's that. Again, I'm using my little tool to give the paper like a little sieve curve. And this was my first time using that thing, so I'm excited to use it on charms that never freaking sit right on the nail for me. After I got that stuck on there, I noticed how some of the sides were not all the way glued down. So I ended up just being janky and just taking my base coat and filling in those gaps. You can see that I'm taking the little brush and kind of just scraping the product into those open spaces. I figured if they were going to be there and I wasn't going to fix it, I was going to at least fill it with something clear so that when I go to encapsulate, it won't look like a weird air bubble or just something really weird. I know the shape looks wild, but y'all already know we finna file her up real good, okay? And I don't know why I keep coming on here with this janky ass bottle, but it's my Makartt blooming gel. Y'all, I'm about to just write it on there with a marker so y'all can know what it is. I went in on my middle finger with a layer of blooming gel, and for this particular look, you don't necessarily need blooming gel. You could use base coat, or because I use so many colors, you really can just go in straight with the colors and swirl them all together, and it'll pretty much give you the exact same look. So I just went in with each of those colors from my palette in no particular order at all whatsoever. I did want to do an ombre, so that's why you see I'm only placing the gel on the tip of the nail, but I ended up changing my mind, so I do go in and fill up that little area where my natural nail is. So this is one of those parts where I was like, dang, why did I do all of that? I feel like I could have stopped like right here, or maybe like right here. I didn't stop there. I ended up swirling them like OD. It still came out really cute. It didn't look like, a big glob of colors or anything, but I do wish like I toned down the swirl just because I wanted it to have a different look. But again, it came out really cute. So with the pointer and the pinky finger, I pretty much did the exact same thing on each nail, just using 2 different colors. And I've had this glitter top coat from Makartt for mad long, and I've never used it, and I'm so glad I picked it up this day. Whatever color you use this on top of, it gives it such a pretty shimmer, and it's a top coat, so once it's cured, it's cured. There's no tacky layer or anything. And I plan to use this top coat so much more. I don't know why I be gatekeeping my own shit. Like, I be coming across stuff that I've had since I first started doing nails, and I be like, yo, why I never use this? Why do I do that? And then I be up in these nail supply stores buying mad shit that I know I'm gonna just sit to the side and forget about. It makes no sense, but that's my freaking life. Let me stop. Oh, I be sounding depressed. Let me stop. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys watch this part play out. So after going crazy with the freaking, what is that, y'all? Like, it don't look bad, but like, I didn't want it to look like that. I knew I wanted to use all of those colors because those are the colors that are in the deck, but I did not want it to look like that. But as you can see, I went ahead and kind of like decorated it a little bit with those gold flakes. Also, I knew I was going to be covering up this nail with those picture frames, so I wasn't really tripping. But again, you guys, I think it still came out cute in the end. It didn't sit right with my soul in the moment. That's all. So here are how the nails are looking after everything's encapsulated. I'm going in with my 60 grit hand files, and I'm going to link these on my Amazon storefront because I know y'all still using them 80/80s, and I'm going to need y'all to get y'all some of these so y'all can file to your greatest potential, because I promise you, you will not be going back to no 80/80. You're going to be like, 80 who? Who is 80? You could be on here looking for 50/50, 40/40 grit nail files. Do those even exist? I hope I don't ever come across a 50/50 or 40/40 nail file because I'm gonna be a dangerous bitch. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all watch this filing process. I always like to start underneath, and then I go in on the sides, and then I go in on the free edge, and then I'll go over the surface of the nail. After that, I do go in with my E-file, and that's when I'll pop back in. Okay, you guys, before I go in with my E-File, I just wanted to show y'all really quick these drill bits that I received from Ruby Nail Products. I mentioned in my previous video that they sent me a huge PR box, so I'm going to be using a lot of their products, and I'm loving a lot of their products so far. They sent me a mini mandrel bit, a super long 5-in-1 bit in medium, which I'm super excited to use. I didn't use it in this video, but I am going to use it. And then a regular 5-in-1 bit, and this one's in fine. I set my RPMs at about 11, and I like to just go in around the cuticle area and debulk that area first. Once I have that area all situated, what? Once I have that area all situated, I like to go in on the sides and a little bit underneath, as you see there, just to clean up any of that acrylic that might have gotten under there or that I might have missed with the hand file. And I also like to go over the surface of the nail with this bit. After I'm done with my E-File, I like to go back in with my 60/60 grit hand file and just go over the surface, making sure that everything is nice and smooth, make sure there's no lumps or bumps, making sure that surface area is level and that the structure of my nail looks perfect. Well, not perfect because no one's freaking perfect, but y'all know what the hell I'm trying to say. Alright y'all, once everything is filed, shaped, and buffed, I do like to go in with alcohol and just clean everything up, make sure there's no dust. I did get up and wash my hands right after this part. And then after I sat back down, I did get a lint-free wipe with some acetone and I just went over each nail and got ready for all of the artwork. I went ahead and started on the picture frame nail and I went through all the cards and I looked for pretty much little pictures that I felt would fit nicely in the picture frame. And I came across this little bird which I thought would fit so cute. I made sure that the frame would actually fit the entire bird in there before I wasted my time. Went ahead and cut it out and then I glued it onto the nail with some nail glue. So to adhere the frames, I wanted to use like a thicker consistency gel or glue. I mean, I could have used my Makartt rhinestone glue, but it just wasn't in my reach at that point. I don't know. But I went in with my IBD gel. I did like a circle, just basically the outline of the frame, and placed the frame on there. And then next, I found this king's face, which I thought was so cute for this picture frame. I stuck that on there and moved on to the next one. So of course I had to use the back of the card too because it had some really cute images on there as well, and the images on here were smaller. So I found like these little, I don't know if you can tell, but they're, I guess, got people standing there in different positions. I just found one and stuck it on there just like I did the other two. Once all three of them were on there, I did go ahead and take my IBD gel and put some gel underneath, like in those little nooks and crannies of the picture frames, just so that there isn't that huge gap. And this is also a great thing to do around your charms and your crystals so that it doesn't snag on your hair or your clothes or whatever. This was kind of a waste of time because this was a pop-off method. I didn't keep these nails on or anything, but I guess it's still just good practice to do. I also put some of that IBD gel in the picture frames, and I guess that kind of magnified the little images a little bit. I thought it was cool. Coming back to the thumb, I wanted to use this little, I guess it's a raccoon. I put it on there. I couldn't figure out how to cover up like that weird separation between the card and the rest of the nail, so I tried to use the gold flakes, which I didn't like, so I got pissed off and I left it alone, and I was like, I'm gonna come back to the thumb later. So that's what we finna do in this video too. We'll come back to the thumb later. Moving on to the index and the pinky, I wanted to use all the colors that you've seen in that Joker card, or at least try to use, you know, some of the colors in that card. And I'm not too good with artwork as far as line works and swirls and stuff like that, but I tried my best. I didn't know what else to do on these nails, and I didn't want to do too much because I felt like the picture frame nail and the thumb was doing too much. So we kept it kind of simple, and I tried my best to make the pinky and index finger match each other. Alright, so back to this thumb. I knew I wanted to use this masquerade mask. I think I got these from Temu or Shein, one or the other. At first I thought I'd cover the bee with it because it took the shape of the bee, so I thought it would look cute. But I ended up putting it right there closer to the apex area. I ended up being happy with that, and I went in with some crystals from Blue Streak for some little extra bling, and there's my thumb. For the ring finger, I didn't do too much because I didn't want to take away from the background. So I just went and did some more crystal placements with some Serenity crystals from Blue Streak, and that was the ring finger. I don't know what I be doing in these voiceovers. I actually really dislike voiceovers, but here we are. So after all the artwork and all the crystals are on there, I went in with my shiny top coat from Ruby Nail Products and went over all the nails. Make sure you're wiping the sides of your nails prior to curing because you want to keep the shape and the crispiness from that good old 60-60. You know what I'm talking about? And then I went in on the picture frame nail. It was a little bit, I guess, tedious to top coat it because you wanted to get all in between the picture frames, but I just went ahead and carefully did it. I also put top coat over where I put the IBD gel inside the picture frames because that IBD, it does have a tacky layer, so I wanted to make sure I top coated that as well. And here's the finished set. I had a lot of fun getting creative with these playing cards, you guys. Let me know down below what you guys think. Also, give me a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Bye!